In a political bombshell that has sent shockwaves across South Africa's governing landscape, powerful Minister of Mineral Resources and Energy and veteran ANC heavyweight Gad Mantashe now faces the prospect of imminent imprisonment overseas after being drawn into a rapidly widening global criminal investigation, a development that has not only shaken President Cyril Ramaphosa's inner circle but also thrust the ANC into one of its deepest crises since the Zuma-era corruption scandals. According to sources connected to European intelligence agencies, Mantashe is reportedly the target of a sealed indictment issued by a joint international task force probing cross-border corruption, with allegations expected to be made public within days that center on large-scale bribery, abuse of office, money laundering through offshore accounts, and illicit dealings with foreign energy and mining corporations operating throughout Africa, prompting one investigator to describe the case as the most damaging corruption scandal involving a South African cabinet minister in more than 20 years. The probe began years ago when whistleblowers from a multinational oil company, compelled by EU compliance requirements, leaked a trove of internal emails that allegedly reveal a network of hidden offshore trusts, unlawful commissions, and covert backdoor deals linking Mantashe to several senior advisors, raising urgent concerns about how deeply South Africa's institutions may have been compromised over at least a decade. President Ramaphosa, who has long defended Mantashe as a trusted advisor and loyal stalwart, was reportedly blindsided and visibly shocked after intelligence officials briefed him on the severity of the allegations, with one senior government figure stating that the president never imagined Mantashe was so deeply entangled and warning that the entire political structure now risks collapsing. The revelations have sparked an open-ended crisis at the Union Buildings and ANC headquarters at Luthuli House as crisis meetings involving national executive members, intelligence officers, and legal advisors reportedly continue throughout the week, while panic spreads among current and former ministers who are consulting private attorneys, and a leaked memo indicates that at least 2 former cabinet officials have been placed on border control watch lists, hinting at further indictments. The possible domino effect of the Mantashe case, long predicted by civil society groups and investigative journalists who have warned of hidden financial ties between ANC officials and foreign business interests in the energy and mining sectors, could include extradition demands, global asset freezes, and widespread legal disclosures if foreign prosecutors secure convictions, with one legal analyst describing the scandal not as an isolated case but as a doorway to following corruption trails into party accounts, personal bank holdings, and offshore shell companies registered in places like the Seychelles or Mauritius, fueling fears within the ANC that the entire corrupt architecture may finally be exposed. Opposition parties have moved quickly to capitalize on the crisis, with EFF leader Julius Malema declaring that the ANC protected Africans deserve leaders who serve the public rather than elites enriched by hidden contracts and offshore bribes. Civil society organizations including Corruption Watch and the Helen Suzman Foundation have demanded full transparency and an independent audit of all ANC-linked foreign transactions over the past decade, calling the moment a reckoning that requires justice institutions to prove they serve the people, not the powerful, while journalists continue to uncover explosive claims that several Mantashe-linked contracts were funneled through shell companies connected to ANC fundraising operations and may have been used to secure major campaign donations, including for Ramaphosa's 2017 leadership bid, potentially linking foreign bribery to domestic political influence in a way that could be devastating for the president and his cabinet. Meanwhile, international pressure is surging as European parliamentarians call for sanctions against South African officials implicated in the corruption scheme. The European Commission tracks suspicious money flows and prepares subpoenas for banks believed to have handled ANC-linked illicit funds. And US regulators monitor developments closely because US-registered energy firms were involved in several questionable deals, all while Ramaphosa's silence becomes increasingly untenable and speculation grows that internal ANC factions may force leadership changes if he fails to act swiftly. As one ANC veteran put it, this crisis is larger than Kandla or Guptagate, marking a global reckoning with corruption that domestic institutions failed to confront, and threatening the ANC's survival in the next election if left unresolved.